Hey everybody, welcome to the Agent AGI. Let's just dive right in. This is going to be a preview demo. This agent right now has only one tool, which is a tool that creates new tools. So I'm going to ask it to create a read file tool. It's going to use its tool, create a new tool. Everything's updated automatically for us. Now it has an additional tool which can read files. I'm going to ask it to read help.txt and create a web search with Perplexity tool. Help.txt just has a sample call to Perplexity web search API. This is just from their documentation. That's all. So it actually went ahead and used the read file to read it and created a new Perplexity tool. And we updated tools and the tool definitions. And now we can actually use Perplexity search. It has a tool to be able to do that. And we can see it in the functions.py. It has added the read file and Perplexity web search. Now that we have Perplexity, let's use it for a complex use case. We're going to ask to please search with 5 unique search queries for what the consensus is on what NVIDIA stock will be at the end of 2024. We don't even tell it to use Perplexity or anything like that. By the way, this is no financial advice. So it wants to use Perplexity with this query, and it's going to use it again with a different search query, and yet again with another search query. So we pretty much built very quickly a web research assistant. By the way, this video is going to be just a demo preview of Agent AGI, but the early code is available at my Patreon for Architect Plus patrons. Link will be in the description. Okay, we have completed all 5 queries. And now we have the consensus on NVIDIA, the summary of all these search queries. Let's ask it to write this summary to file. We could have also asked it to write these to file as well. And here we go, NVIDIA stock prediction, and it has written this to file. So we could have asked it to do maybe 10 different searches if you want. This does, of course, require Perplexity API key. So let's continue. So now let's do something more complex. For more complex instructions, the agent_instructions.txt can actually take in as many instructions as you like. We're going to put in here to create a URL scraper tool with Gina AI. And now we're going to ask it to write a tool which calls GPT-4 Omni. But we're going to ask it to first do a Perplexity search to find the proper API call before creating this tool. So it has to perform 2 steps just in this one. And then we're asking it to create an archive paper search tool. So since it automatically detects instructions from this file, I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is just press enter. This file gets cleared and the instructions are transferred to older agent instructions just in case if you need them. Now, Claude wants to use Perplexity web search tool to actually search for the proper way to call the GPT-4 API. It has created a URL scraper. It has created the call to GPT-4 API. And now it's working on the archive search tool. Now we can actually use all 3 of them. As you can see, it added the URL scraper, which both saves it to file and returns the content. GPT-4 API call looks correct, and the archive search. Now we can ask it to actually scrape URLs for us. Here's the web page, which we instructed to use. So I'm going to say, scrape this website and summarize it to me. Now it should use its newly created Gina scraper tool. It did. It created this folder, and it actually passed on all the contents here. And it, on top of it, it summarized it to us. We will use the GPT-4 API call here in a moment. Remember that, by the way, the code files for this is already available as a preview to Architect level and beyond patrons, Architect Plus patrons, and my Patreon link will be in the description. Let's test out the archive search functionality. We can actually use voice mode. All I have to do is type in -voice. Now we are actually in the voice mode. So let's try this. Please search archive for agent, LLM agent systems. And now it's actually, let's see what it does. It wants to use the archive search tool. It did that. It created this folder, and it actually saved papers that it found. And on top of it, it actually summarized it for us as well using its newly created tool. So I can actually get out of the voice mode. If it, when you're speaking, if it detects switch and text, then it will switch back. Please switch back to text. And now we have actually switched back to text. Let's now try with a very complex, almost 10-step request, which is to create 5 TXT files, each with a unique inspirational code. But after creating each file, we're going to ask it to read it and then create a .html web page, a beautiful page for that quote. But it should first create a write file and read file tools before starting this task. Let's see how it's going to do in this. So this should require quite a lot of steps, and the ordering of the steps is important. It's creating a write file function, which is correct, and now it should create a read file function, and all the functions and definitions are updated automatically. It created a read file function. Now it should be creating the text files. Okay, it created the first quote. This is by Steve Jobs. Now it should create a web page for this. And it has done that for the first quote. And we can see it right up here. This is how it created it. Now we created the second quote, and on the second HTML web page, here you go. This is by Theodore Roosevelt. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. And the third one is created as well. Let's take a look. This is by Eleanor Roosevelt. And the fourth one by Winston Churchill. And the fifth one is just created. There we go. So it was able to execute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 actions properly, just as we we asked it to do. Not only that, but it had to create 2 new tools for it. We asked, actually, no, 13 steps, because we asked it to create these 2 tools first. It did, and then it performed 11 actions in a row, all as we have asked. So now let's try something really elaborate, swarm-like agentic behavior. Since we had asked it to create a tool to be able to talk with GPT-4, let's ask it to discuss how to create a tower defense game and then create it. Let's switch to the voice mode for this and let me prompt it. Please make a call to the GPT model and discuss with it how to build a tower defense game in Pygame without using any external assets. All assets must be created within Pygame. Talk to the GPT model for 3 turns total, and then create a tower defense folder, and then create a multi-file tower defense game. I was testing this earlier, so let me delete this tower defense. Okay, so this is going to be interesting to see what happens. Okay, it wants to call GPT-4, but let's discuss. We can actually take a look at the messages, and here is the call it's making. Let's discuss how to build a tower defense game. So we can actually follow its calls, but it's making a second call. Thank you for your initial, I think it's thanking it for the initial response. Thank you for the initial response. Let's continue our discussion. And great progress so far. So it's making 3 calls. That's awesome. So this is very swarm-like behavior that you can just instantiate very easily. All we have to do is ask it to create a call to GPT-4. By the way, you can update the function definitions here. Maybe sometimes if it makes a mistake, like with chat.completions, you can update it. You can also add your own custom functions to the functions.py file. Everything will be updated automatically. Okay, just like we asked, it talked to GPT-4 Omni for 3 turns, created the tower defense folder, and now it's creating the game. There is no guarantee if this game is going to work, but let's create a split terminal and go into the tower defense folder and run the main. So I have no idea. Okay, it kind of works. Yeah, there we go. So this failed because I forgot to get out of the audio mode, and while I was typing here, it said the audio file is too short. That's just me not getting out of the audio mode. But this is awesome. You can download it at my Patreon. I'll be making more videos on it, testing it. I'm still working on the script. It's also multimodal. It can accept image inputs. I'm working on that. It can accept voice inputs. So I really am very excited about this. Do let me know what you think. So unlike traditionally, we're not doing a code review just yet, but I'm still working on the code, and I will be doing that hopefully at a later time. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. By the way, I'm starting Ask Me Anything regular meetings for Architect Plus patrons. First one's going to be this Sunday. It's 7th, 12 p.m. Los Angeles time. I hope to see you there if you are a patron or would like to become one. we'll probably discuss agent quite a lot. But if you're an Architect patron, feel free to join these meetings. Ask me any questions. We'll try to keep the questions to a 10-minute per question if there's too many people. But yeah, check it out. The link will be in the description. I would like to take a moment to talk about the benefits of becoming a patron. As some of you may know, in the last year and a half, I've spent 3,000 hours, over 300 projects. As a patron, you will have access to all the code files so you can get inspiration and iterate quickly. Another benefit is that you'll have access to all my courses. And my most recent and most proud one, the 1000x Masterclass, teaching what I've learned on how to code fast and efficiently. Also the Streamlit course and the Fast API course. In my Patreon, I also have tiers in which you can connect with me one-on-one. Check those out as well.